Hi, my name's Michelle. I'm from Michelle's Patchwork and welcome to another demo. So we're going to do a piece in what I would term as bleach work, but we're going to use a product that is not so threatening to your fabric. It doesn't harm your fabric in any way. It's from Jacquard, called Decolourant. It's a discharge paste, and that's what we're going to use. So that's it there. They are in the website, so it's the W's michellespatchwork.com, or you can always contact me on Facebook at Michelle's Patchwork and Art. The other product we're going to use is called Sun Dyes, and that's to put the colour back in. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out that colour, and then we're going to pop a different colour in. So working with a black background, it's very hard to get dyes to work and show. They won't. They just blend into the black colour. So we take the black out and then pop colours back in. This is the new stock. I'm going to be using the old stock, which is my stock, and they're a little bit worn out, but we're going to work with them anyway. So I've drawn my design. This design will be available. I'll get the paper out. It's quite a big design. You might need to zoom right out there. It's quite a big design. That you can then trace on to your black fabric, which is what I've done here. It might be a bit hard for you to see. And I used the largest window box in the world, which is your windows in your home. It's the best way to do it. And I used a Bowen pencil. It's a ceramic pencil, and I taped it to the window and just drew it out like that. Now, what you do is we get that decolorant. And now this decolorant, brand new, doesn't actually activate until you add heat in it. So you're going to need your trusty iron. So, and it does smell not very pleasant, but it is better than bleach. You're also going to not destroy your brushes, so if you want to use a better brush, you can. But what the beauty of this product is that wherever you put it, until you add heat to it, you can wash it out. So if you stuff it up, put it in the wrong spot, you can actually wash that out and come back to it when it's dry and re-put it in. So I've got some brushes here. I'm going to start small and work my way up, as in brush size. Theoretically, you probably shouldn't be working out of the tub, but let's just go with that. We'll just work out of the tub. Should scoop it into another container, but I'm going to paint it onto the areas. And what I'm going to do, because those lines are there, I want to sort of go around those lines a little, sort of allow those lines to stay there. Because if I touch those lines, that decolorant is going to take those coloured lines away as well. That brush needs a bit of a wash out. You're also going to need some paper towel, just to wash out any excess. I might use that lid, it's got a little bit in there. So just paint it on the areas that you want. This does take a little while, so I'm going to just demo a few areas for you, and then we'll speed this up, and you'll be able to So then we're going to speed this up, so you'll be able to just watch as it goes along in a quicker pace. But up until this point, I'll show you what it does. I'll do one petal at a time. So you're sort of working in reverse. It's like a negative of a film. Do we have film anymore? We do. I don't think we have film anymore. Do we have film anymore? Cameraman's laughing at me. I don't think we have film anymore. So, if you want to do just half of it, just to see how you're going, you can. I can see that it's wet. Now underneath this, and in your kit, you'll get a wadding. So I should have explained that before, and I'll show you there. So it's just a wadding underneath, yep, just so that you can stop it from going through onto your table. Not that it would hurt your table, but you just don't want to take that risk, and you don't want to damage anything else, because once you add the heat to it, it will start activating on your table too. The other beautiful thing about this product is it doesn't compromise your fabric like normal bleach can. So with normal bleach, the more you put on, the more you rub at it, the higher the chance of it degrading your fabric, whereas this product doesn't do that. It's totally water soluble, and it's not like you're going to need another product to wash it out. And if you do not wash it out and you leave it there, it's not going to matter, because you're not adding heat to it after the fact. Alright, so I've got one petal done. So I thought I'd use this brush for this area. And see how we go. Alright, let's add some heat to it. Alrighty, she's pretty much dry. So let's do that. Let's try. Let's give it a go. Look at that. Ba-bam. It's taken that colour out. How cool is that? Here's one I prepared earlier. Look at that. The more heat I add, the more colour comes out. That is awesome. Then we can go on to the next one. Fabulous. All right, let's move on. Loving it. Alrighty. Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay, now, got a feeling that's a leaf. Not that it matters. And we're just going to keep going. So obviously to dry in between with a hairdryer is going to help and make it speed up a lot quicker. Otherwise you can wait for it to dry naturally. And naturally would probably be a few hours to overnight. So it is like a gel, so it's pretty easy to apply. Right, so we have obviously started getting into some of this colour, and it's now, you can see it's starting to really take that colour out of that black fabric. So we just keep moving on and keep doing it and repeat. So you can see how it works. It's very easy enough that anyone can do it with no artistic degree. So let's keep going. I think the beauty with this as well is that with bleach, normally when you're carrying it over, you know, from one spot to the other, you can drip it, you can splatter it, all sorts of things can go wrong. This one here, if you drip it, it doesn't matter until you want to add heat to it. So you can wash it out or get rid of it or not put heat to it until to get it out, so that you don't compromise your design. So the difference in colour from darker to light is where there's been more of the decolorant and less of the decolorant. I've put more heat and that sort of thing, and I quite like that. If you really want it to be all really light, you might need to go back over again for a second coating. Me personally, I think that'll be okay because those darker bits are going to work for me in shadows and highlights and low lights and things like that. So when I add the paint, I won't have to add so many low lights. I can just add the paint. And the fabric behind that darker colour will work and do its own thing, so which is really good. This one becomes my main feature. The rest sort of sit to the back, so that's all really good. And we've just got one more to do down here, and we'll do that in a minute, and yeah, we'll be back soon. So we have done them all, and I am now going to start painting. So to do the painting side of it, we have picked out some colours. I've got Waratah, which is sort of like a burgundy red. I'm just going to pour a little bit into a palette. And then I've got Mustard, which is going to be my Lello. Got to have Lello. I might need more of that Waratah. Lorikeet, which is the green. And an orange. Don't need a lot of orange, so just put a little bit in. Now with these paints, to get a lighter colour, we just add more water. So to make them work, we just paint them straight on. To make them lighter, more water. We want them darker, it's just a little bit of brown. Then we just add more paint. Now I'm using just a larger paintbrush just to cover the area more efficiently. I'm not using the brushes I've used today, in the bleaching, because I don't want to, I haven't washed them out properly, so I don't want to compromise that any further. So get your paint and just start painting those areas. And add that colour in. So dip and paint, and if it goes over that line, it don't matter. So this is my leaf. It does have a darker or a lighter part to it on this side, so I'm just going to use a bit of water and just do a bit lighter by adding the water to it on that side. That should be just enough to take up that area, and I'm going to go then move it around. So sorry about that, cameraman. Sorry. And we're going to do this one over here and just continue on. So we've done the hard part. The hard part was putting that bleach down. The easy part is now putting the paint on. And because you've got those highs and lows in the colour of the fabric, so the darker and the lighter parts of that fabric, it just does its own thing. We don't have to worry too much about shadows and things like that. It's literally going to do it for us, which is fabulous. That's why I love Bleachwork. It just does all the hard work for me. You see how beautiful that's turning out? Makes me look clever. I love anything that makes me look clever. So we just try and act on those areas by putting paint in before they dry. See, I've got a bit of a line there between two colours, there and there. There shouldn't be too much of an issue, and I just need to add some more green paint into the palette. Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm just going to do that. Try not to spill too much. It will come out off your table with a bit of water, but in saying that, you'd want to act quickly. It is a fabric paint. If you get it on your clothes, it is there for good. Alright, so I'm just going in these greener areas first, and then I'm going to dry that paint with the hairdryer. And what I'm going to do is just under here, because I want to have under that rose there, I just want to soften that out, but I just want to have a little bit of green in that bud. How easy is this? I don't even have to stay in the lines. Just paint away. And I've still got the wadding underneath here, absorbing all the excess, which is great. Saves my bench. This is another fold in a leaf here on the side, so I am going to do that a little lighter. Now, even if this looks really bright to you right now, it will actually dry lighter. It's the natural process of the paint to dry lighter. Give this a dry off and get on to the next colour. Okie dokie. Alright, now let's do some flowers and some buds. So I can have them all the one colour, or I can mix it up, either, it doesn't really matter. But I'm just going to go with a one colour way. I just want to make sure I've got all the green out, and which is that burgundy sort of colour, Waratah. I did put a brown in there, but I probably won't end up using it, so we're going to go with that, and using the colour straight on will give me a really strong colour to it. Now, to lighten that, come in real quick with some water and start blending that in. Just sort of massage it in. It'll sort of soup up a little. If that's not wet enough, wet it again with some paint. Come in there and get the ball to mould in nicely. So I want that little bit of green and that little bit of burgundy there to just talk to each other nicely. No arguments. Alright, so that's one. That was hard. Let's go to the next one. So what I'm trying to do here is just sort of stay away from the green a little. the actual background fabric will do its thing, and then we're going to move along to this one over here. If I go into that green area, it is going to paint the green area. Now I've got to go in between these, so bear with me while I go in between those little doodads. What are they called? Stamens. It's them, doodads. Again, you're still going to work reasonably quick, because as soon as it dries or comes close to look like drying, you're going to end up with a line, like a linear look to it, which I nearly got there, but I'm going to be able to, when I stitch that, it'll disappear. So that top bit there, I've just dipped into water. I haven't washed my brush out as such. I just dipped the brush in the water and then straight onto the fabric, and that sort of changes the colour of it a little. So if you get a blotch like that I've done there, just leave it alone. There's nothing you can do about it. Let it go. That's because I'm coming straight out of the bottle. And I've done that because I'm doing the lazy thing. So best to go from a palette, but that can still happen. But just let it be, just let it be. Don't sort of try and wet it or anything like that, because you won't get it out. It's in the fabric now. That's it. It's done. Once I finish doing these, I'm then going to dry this and do the stamens, and pretty much that is the painting done. That's how hard it is. So you don't need a degree in painting to do this. You can see how easy it is and how little technique I'm using. There's no real technique here. It's just slap her on. Get that colour in. The only thing I'm trying not to do is to touch the green area. If I touch that green area, I'm likely to make it bleed into that green area, which will be a nuisance. So I just try and avoid that if I can. So I'll work up to that green area but not touch it. That's the only precision that I'm doing here. We're going to pop that in there. A little bit of the outer edge, a bit lighter, lid on, and oops, I need to turn it around. There we go. So we'll just turn that around and do this last one, then we can dry it off. And all we're going to do is grab that mustard yellow and come back in and dot some of those areas and a little bit of that brown. So that will help bring a little colour up. Okay, so we've painted it all. Now we just need to let it dry, let it do its thing, and then we're going to stitch. So the next part of this video will be stitching, and I'll take you through that step by step. Again, we'll be stitching around the outside of this. If you don't want to and you want to just put that on a canvas, you can also do that too. Either, it's okay. You can put it into a quilt. Once it's heat set, it is there for good. So once I iron that and have that all, you know, nicely pressed and that is heat set, that is done. It's not coming out of that fabric at all. But so far, pretty damn good, I'm thinking. So I think that we've done a great job today, and I think the longest part of this was pretty much doing the bleach work side of it. After that, it's basically just throw some colour at it and duck and run. So we will see you on the next video, and I'd like to thank you for joining me on this one. And like I said, patterns will be available soon on the website, and also kits. Okay, so keep your eye out for that one. Details will be in the description also, so that you can have a look there too. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.